How many times have you heard, I just don't have time? Yeah, if I had a nickel for every time that I said that, I would be seriously rich. Um, it is a refrain that I hear over and over from people at work, people at, you know, my son's events, just everywhere. And I'll admit, I say it a lot too. The reality of it is that is not true. So I want to talk a little bit about the time that we have. Welcome to my journey of self discovery, life balance, career success, and business creation. This podcast works to answer the question of how successful professionals like us stop drifting and get focused on keeping our careers and businesses growing rapidly while having a full, balanced, and vibrant life that we absolutely love. What we call the Third Power Life. And this is the Third Power Life Podcast. So, do we actually have time? How does that work? We have 24 hours a day. So, that was a great little thing I saw the other day. In a week, a regular week, 7 days, there are 168 hours per week. You figure you do 50 hours of work, 5 hours at the gym a week, 56 hours, 8 hours a day sleeping. That leaves 57 hours left to work on ourselves, to spend time with family, to build a business, to make yourself amazing, to work on your quest. Now, the reality of it is that most of us spend a large portion of that 57 hours on our phones. I don't even know where my phone is right now. We spend it watching TV, binge watching shows. We spend it in La La Land, not doing things to better ourselves, right? And so, I want us to really look at, where does our time go? And I'm going to put on my website, I have a daily time tracker, just basically a worksheet in 15-minute segments. And every time I've done this, it's been wild, kind of sad, but I mark, every 15 minutes, where was my time going? And yeah, got to be honest with yourself. If you were on Facebook for half an hour, admit it, right? Admit it to yourself. You don't have to show this to anybody else. But if you do this, do it for a couple of days, and you will be amazed at how much time you actually have, right? I mean, it's wild to me that we spend so much of our time in entertainment land. I have my phone's in the other room, but I have an app on my phone where it shows me how long I've been on, how much screen time I've had today, right? And I try to be conscious of it, but I'm usually at 2 to 3.5 hours, somewhere in that range every day. And I would love to think that, well, that's doing research for work and it's playing, Clash Royale while I'm waiting in line, or it's, doing some inane thing, browsing Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or what have you. It's, doing something that's most of the time not productive, right? And so I'm working on getting better at that. I do have my books on there. I've listened to podcasts through it, but honestly, the podcast is not real screen time because I usually open it, put on the podcast, close it, and just listen. So it doesn't really count into those 2 hours. But anyway, I digress. The reality of it is we have time for what's important. I still saw somewhere that rather than say, I don't have time, say it's not a priority, and see how that feels. Instead of saying I don't have time, say it's not a priority and see how that feels. Every time that I've done that, it's like, well, okay. I don't have time to work out. Well, working out's not a priority. There's two very different statements, right? So take the time. I love time management. You can go overboard on it, but I do it through my journaling and all of that. I'm not like map out every quarter hour, but I do try to, here's what I need to accomplish today. Here's when I want to do it, and try to schedule it in. And then the time that I have off, I'm making sure that I'm getting quality time with my family, not just sitting in front of the TV. I'm making sure that I take time to talk to my wife. I'm making sure that I connect with my kids, um, that I know who their friends are. And I'm making time for this. This is time, part of my 57 hours gets spent with you. Don't you feel, doesn't that make you feel all fuzzy inside that I'm spending part of my life with you? Right? I'm trying to make a difference in the world, and not just the world in general. I'm trying to make a difference in your world. Yes, you. So we all have time. We have 24 hours in a day. Where are you mapping out your time? So if you want the daily time tracker, you can go to thirdpowerlife.com/tools, and it will be there. Um, it's pretty straightforward little worksheet of just map out your time. And I guarantee that you will be interested in what you find. The reality of it is, what I've found is, in doing it, it changes where my time goes. Because if I know, oh, I'm going to go check Facebook, and I know I have to log it, I'm like, okay, well, I'm only going to do like a few minutes and then I'll get off. But log where your time goes. Even at that, you'll see that you have time to do the things that you want to do. If you could take just a few minutes of that time, take half an hour, take an hour a day to work on yourself, to work on learning some skill, learn a new language, right? Learn a marketing marketing for your business, work on developing a skill for your job. Do some little thing, and it doesn't have to be like 4 hours a day, but take a little bit of that time that would be put into escaping. I mean, let's be honest. For me, TV, the phone, all of that, it's I'm so done with my day. I've got so much pressure on me. I just want to escape for a little while. I mean, there's a place for that, but do that through meditation. Do something, go for a walk in nature. Do something that's going to positively impact your being, versus just getting lost in the interwebs. So anyway, thirdpowerlife.com/tools to get your daily time tracker and track your time. I'd love to know what insights you find out of this. So you can tag me on social media, send me an email, info@thirdpowerperformance.com, in the comments of this video. But I'd love to hear what insights you've had. How are you going to use your 57 hours a week? Love to hear it, because I want you to use that time to make your life to the third power. Until next time, my friends. I'm glad you enjoyed this podcast. Please let us know what impacted you in today's episode. You can join our Discord or Facebook community to connect with like-minded people that want a real third power life. You can go to thirdpowerlife.com or look in the show notes for links. And remember, hit that like, subscribe, and rate button for the Third Power Life podcast. Until next time.